Dark clouds covered the sky as cold wind moved through the wild forest. The tall trees stood like silent watchers, their leaves shaking with every gust. Somewhere deep inside this jungle, a girl was running. Her name was Alira, a young alien girl. With purple skin and glowing blue eyes, her arm was bleeding. She held it tight as she moved through the bushes, branches cutting her clothes and skin. Her breathing was fast. She was scared. Something or someone was chasing her. Alira didn't know how long she had been running. Her legs were tired. Her heart felt like it would explode. She looked back once. Nothing, only trees and shadows. Then, it happened. Snap! A hidden metal trap closed around her ankle with sharp teeth. She screamed in pain and fell to the ground. The trap pulled her leg upward and lifted her halfway into the air. Her body swung slightly, upside down, caught like an animal. Her vision blurred. Tears filled her eyes. No, no. She reached for the trap's chain, trying to open it, but the metal was strong, cold, and too tight. Blood ran down her leg. She felt dizzy. The pain was too much. Alira looked around, hoping anyone was nearby. But the forest was silent. She was alone. As the sky grew darker, the air turned colder. Tiny lights appeared above her stars. She watched them through the gaps in the trees. Her voice was soft, tired, almost a whisper. If someone can hear me, anyone. I don't want to die here. Please, help me. She didn't believe in wishes, not really. But tonight, something inside her hoped. The wind stopped for a moment. The forest became too quiet. Then she heard it. Footsteps. Slow, steady, getting closer. Alira stopped breathing. Her eyes wide, she looked toward the sound. Branches moved. Leaves crackled. A shadow stepped into view. It wasn't an animal. It was a man. He wore dark clothes. His boots were heavy. A long coat covered his body, and he had something hanging. On his back, maybe a weapon. A human? She panicked. Her people told stories about humans, dangerous, cold, and selfish. If this man was human, he might kill her or leave her to die. He walked closer, but didn't rush. His face was rough, with a short beard and tired eyes. He stopped a few feet away from her, looking at her like he was trying to understand what she was. Alira shouted, trying to sound brave. Stay back. I'll fight if I have to. But she was hanging upside down, weak and bleeding. It wasn't much of a threat. The man didn't speak. He looked at the trap, then back at her. He stepped closer. I said stop, she cried. He finally spoke. His voice was deep and calm. You're hurt. He moved to the trap without fear and touched the metal carefully. With strong hands, he pulled a small tool from his coat and worked on the lock. Alira didn't know what to do. She wanted to trust him, but fear held her heart. Why are you helping me? He didn't answer. The trap made a click, then opened slowly. Her body dropped down gently. He caught her before she hit the ground. She gasped as pain shot through her leg. Careful. He laid her down against a tree. Her breathing was rough. Her leg was bleeding badly now. He took off his coat and wrapped it around her to keep her warm. Alira looked at him, confused. You're human, aren't you? He nodded once. Yes, but why help me? He didn't answer again. He took something from his pocket bandages, simple but clean. He wrapped her leg quickly and tightly. Alira watched his face. He didn't smile. He didn't show emotion. Just quiet focus. Then she noticed something strange in his eyes. Pain. Not from an injury, but something deeper. Like he had lost something. As he finished tying the bandage, she whispered, What's your name? He stood up slowly and looked around the forest, as if expecting danger. Name's Reed, he said. Then he turned back to her. You're not safe here. This trap wasn't random. Someone set it. And they might come back. Alira felt her fear grow again. Reed picked up a long stick, checked the path ahead. and said one last thing. If you want to live, you'd better come with me. The stars above them watched silently as the strange pair, an alien girl and a human man, disappeared into the shadows of the forest. Alira didn't sleep that night. She sat against the cold tree, Reed's coat wrapped around her, her injured leg throbbing. The forest around them was quiet, too quiet. Not even the sound of insects. Only the soft crackling of a small fire that Reed had started with dry wood and some strange metal lighter. The light from the fire danced on his face. He sat across from her, silent, sharpening a knife with calm hands. His eyes didn't blink much. His face showed no emotion. She couldn't stop staring at him, a human, alone in this wild forest, helping her. Why? Alira had grown up hearing stories about humans, how they were dangerous, greedy, and full of hate. But this one, this Reed, didn't speak like a killer. He hadn't even asked who she was. He just helped. She finally broke the silence. Are you going to tell me why you were out here? He didn't stop sharpening the blade. You ask? A lot of questions for someone who was hanging upside down an hour ago. Alira frowned. That's not an answer. He looked up. His eyes were cold, but not cruel. No, it's not. She crossed her arms. You know, I could have died in that trap. You still might, Reed said, standing up. Before she could ask what he meant, he turned his head toward the dark trees. What is it? She whispered. He didn't move. His eyes scanned the forest like a machine. Footsteps, 2, maybe 3, far, but moving fast. Alira tried to stand, but her leg gave out. Reed caught her before she fell. Easy. What do we do? She asked, voice shaking. He helped her sit down again, then walked to a tree and reached behind it. From a hollow space, he pulled out something large wrapped in dark cloth. He unwrapped it quickly. A long black rifle with glowing blue lines along its sides. Alira's eyes widened. That's not normal human tech. He didn't answer. Just checked the weapon and loaded something into it. Who are you really? She asked. Still no answer. He handed her a small device. Press this if I say now. It'll blind them for 10 seconds. Run if you can. If not, crawl. Alira stared at the device. It felt cold in her hand. Her fingers shook. You really think they're coming for you? No, Reed said, checking the rifle's scope. They're coming for you. Her breath caught. Why me? Reed looked at her for a moment. You don't know what's inside you, do you? What are you talking about? He didn't explain. Instead, he walked a few feet forward and crouched low, watching, waiting. Alira's mind raced. Inside her, what did he mean? Was she carrying something? Had someone done something to her? Then crack. A stick snapped in the distance. Then another. Reed raised one hand, signaling her to stay low. Alira pressed her back to the tree, heart pounding. The firelight made strange shadows around her. She held the device tightly. She saw something move between the trees. A tall shape, then another. But Reed didn't panic. He aimed slowly. His breath stayed calm. Then he whispered, now. Alira pressed the button. A sudden burst of white light exploded from the device. It was blinding, even from where she sat. Screams came from the trees, rough, angry voices. Not human, not fully alien either. Something mixed. Reed dashed forward, fast like lightning, weapon ready. She heard loud shots, quick, clean, not messy. Then silence. Alira waited, shaking. She wanted to run, but her leg wouldn't move. A minute passed, then 2. Finally Reed returned, walking calmly. His coat was dusty. There was a scratch on his cheek. Nothing serious. They're gone, he said. Who were they? Alira asked. He sat down beside her. Hunters? Hunters? 4. Me? Reed nodded. They're not the only ones looking. Alira's throat went dry. Why? What did I do? He looked at her for a long time. You were supposed to be dead, Alira. Her heart froze. What? That trap wasn't random. Someone wanted to find your body hanging in that tree, but you're alive. And now, everything's changed. The fire cracked again. Alira stared at the man sitting beside her, the quiet human with the glowing rifle and too many secrets she didn't know. What scared her more? The people chasing her, or the man protecting her? The rain came just before sunrise. Cold drops fell from the sky like whispers, sliding off the trees, landing on Alira's skin. She didn't move. She just sat there silent, watching the fire die out. Reed stood nearby, staring into the woods. Again, always watching. Always quiet. Alira spoke first. You never sleep, do you? Reed didn't look at her. Sleep gets you killed out here. His voice was steady, but there was something beneath it, a weight, a memory. Alira leaned back against the tree, wrapping his coat tighter around herself. Her legs still hurt, but it was better now thanks to him. Still, she couldn't trust him. Not fully. Not yet. Those hunters last night. She said, they weren't normal. No, he replied. What were they? He finally turned his head toward her. They were made. Alira frowned. Made? He nodded. Modified. Not fully alien, not fully human. Just tools. Used by someone else. Alira shivered, not from the rain but from something deeper. She wanted answers. Real ones. So she asked, Why are you here, Reed? You're not a traveler. You're not a farmer. You walk like a soldier, but you don't wear a badge. Reed looked down at his rifle. He didn't speak for a long time. Then softly he said, I was part of a black unit. A human one. We hunted things most people don't know exist. Alien weapons, creatures, experiments gone wrong. Alira's eyes widened. You hunted my kind? No, Reed said quickly. Only the ones that broke rules, that hurt others. But the job changed over time. They stopped caring about right and wrong. He paused. I left. Alira studied his face. She saw pain there. Not just in his words, but in the silence between them. Did they send those hunters? She asked. He nodded. They want you. But why? She asked again. What's so special about me? Reed gave her a strange look. You don't remember, do you? Remember what? You crashed here, he said. 2 weeks ago, your ship went down. Everyone thought you died. Alira nodded slowly. Yes. I remember the crash. Smoke. Pain. Then, nothing. Reed leaned forward. Before you crashed, you were carrying something. A data core. One that could expose everything. That's why they want you. Not for who you are, but for what you might know. Alira's mouth went dry. Her hands trembled. I don't remember a data core. Then they'll keep hunting you until you do. Lightning flashed in the distance. Reed stood up and tossed sand on the fire. We need to move. Where? There's an old outpost 2 miles east. It's hidden. I can patch your leg better there. Alira tried to stand. Her leg hurt, but she pushed through. She looked up at him. Reed, why are you helping me? He didn't answer right away. Then in a quiet voice he said, Because once someone helped me when no one else would. They walked into the misty woods, side by side. The rain kept falling, but in the quiet of the forest, neither of them noticed. A small black drone no bigger than a bird hovering high above, watching their every step, and far away, in a dark room lit by red lights, a voice said, We found them. It started with the sound of breathing, not Alira's, not Reed's, something else. Something close. Alira froze mid-step. The morning fog was thick, wrapping around them like a blanket of ghosts. She could barely see 3 steps ahead. But she heard it heavy, rough, animal-like breathing coming from somewhere in the trees. Reed stopped too. He didn't speak. He didn't blink. He just raised his weapon slowly and turned his head, listening. The sound grew louder. Then it split. One breath became two. Then three. They're tracking us, Reed whispered. Alira looked around nervously. How? I thought we lost them. We did, but the forest didn't. What does that mean? He didn't answer. Instead, he pulled out a round device from his coat, twisted it, and threw it into the bushes. A second later, bang. A sharp flash lit up the trees, followed by a high-pitched hum. Something screamed in pain and fell to the ground. Reed grabbed Alira's arm. Run! She didn't argue. Even with her legs still hurting, she moved. Fast. The forest around them came alive. Cracks, howls, and the sound of heavy bodies moving fast through the fog. The ground was wet, the leaves slippery. Reed stayed close, guiding her, eyes sharp. Like a predator. Then they saw it. A tall creature stepped out in front of them, skin dark like stone, eyes glowing red. It looked half human, half something else. Its arms were too long. Its teeth too sharp. Alira screamed. Reed didn't. He aimed and fired once. The creature dropped, twitching. Keep going. He shouted. They ran. Behind them, more creatures chased. 3, maybe 4. Not fast like Reed, but strong. One of them jumped through the trees above and dropped in front of them. Reed pulled Alira behind him. This time, the thing spoke. Its voice was dry, broken, like metal grinding on bone. Double quotes. Return. The girl. Reed answered with his gun. 3 shots, one creature down. But 2 more came. Alira pulled out the flash device he gave her before. Should I use it? Not yet, he yelled. We're almost there. Almost where? She didn't know. She couldn't think. She just followed Reed. The trees opened suddenly, revealing a dark hill covered in vines. At the base, a metal door. Half buried in dirt and roots. Reed slammed his hand against a panel beside it. Nothing happened. Come on. Come on. The creatures were close now. Alira turned around. She could hear their footsteps pounding like drums. Then dash clicked out. The door opened. Reed pushed her inside, followed quickly, and hit a red switch on the wall. The door slammed shut. Darkness. Silence. Only their breathing. Alira dropped to the floor, heart racing. What was that? What were those things? Reed didn't answer. He lit a lantern hanging on the wall. Dim light filled the room. Old equipment. Broken tools. Dust. This is an old emergency bunker, he said. Built during the first human landings. They forgot it. I didn't. Alira stood slowly. Those creatures. They could speak. They're getting smarter, Reed said. Which means we're running out of time. He walked over to a corner, opened a metal box, and took out a pack of medicine. Let me see your leg. She sat down, letting him unwrap the bandage. The wound looked better, but not good enough. He cleaned it again, carefully, quietly. Alira stared at him. Reed, that thing said to return me. Who sent it? He stopped. His hands froze. Then softly he said, a group called Black Sun. Alira frowned. That sounds like a death cult. They don't believe in death, Reed said. They believe in control. They want to rewrite everything: memory, species, history. And they think you're the key. She shook her head. Why me? I'm just a mechanic's daughter from the outer colonies. He stared at her. That's what they want you to believe. Alira felt cold again, but not from the rain this time. She looked at her reflection in the metal wall beside her. The same eyes, the same face, but now nothing felt familiar. And above the bunker, hidden in the fog-covered trees, more red eyes opened. Watching. Waiting. The wild was not done hunting. The voice came from the wall. Soft, mechanical, female. Welcome back, Unit 9. Alira froze. She turned to Reed, who had gone completely still. Unit 9? She repeated. What does that mean? Reed didn't speak. The lights in the bunker flickered on, dim yellow bulbs hidden in the ceiling. Dust floated in the air. Old screens came to life, showing maps, data logs, files, and a list of names. At the top, Unit 9. Commander Reed, VOSS status. Rogue Alira stepped back. Rogue? Reed slowly closed the screen with a wave of his hand. This place remembers too much. No, she said. You need to explain. Now, he took a deep breath. I wasn't just a soldier. I led a kill team, 9 of us. Our job was to remove problems quietly. Aliens, humans, even children if they carried the wrong data. Alira's chest tightened. You killed children? His jaw clenched. Orders don't care about age. He sat down heavily on a metal box as if the air had turned heavier. I followed every mission. Until one day, they sent us to a refugee ship, said it had a stolen human code fragment. We raided it, killed everyone inside. He looked at her. Now directly. Everyone, except a girl with glowing blue eyes. A girl who hid in the engine room. She was small, scared, bleeding. Alira couldn't breathe. That girl was you, Reed said. She fell back against the wall. Her heart pounded in her ears. No, I don't remember that. You were drugged, left to die with the wreck. But someone changed the mission. Someone saved you, sent you away. He stood and walked over to an old locker. Opened it, pulled out a small data chip and held it up. This was hidden in your body. Near your spine. That's what they're after. Alira touched her back, horrified. You're lying. I wish I was. She stepped away from him. So why didn't you kill me then? I don't know, he said. Something about your eyes, or maybe I was already tired of being a monster. The silence was heavy. Then the bunker lights flickered again. The voice returned. Unauthorized signal detected. Perimeter breach in 90 seconds. Reed cursed. They found us. Alira whispered, because of me. No, because of me, he said. They've always tracked me. They used you to bring me out. He tossed her a small tool belt. Can you still fix things? Alira blinked. Yes. I was a ship mechanic before all this. Good, because if we don't shut this bunker's door system, it'll let them in. Reed handed her a wire cutter and pointed to a panel. Cut the red wire first, then the green. If you mess up, it blows. Great, she muttered, crawling to the panel. Outside. Above the bunker, the ground trembled. Heavy footsteps. Multiple. Reed aimed his rifle toward the door. 60 seconds. Alira opened the panel. Wires danced like snakes inside. She found the red. Cut it. Sparks flew. The screen blinked. She reached for the green. Her hands were shaking. 30 seconds. Reed didn't move. You got this. She took a breath. Cut. The panel flashed once, then turned blue. Security lock engaged. Auto defense online. Reed smiled faintly. Nice work. But the peace didn't last. A deep boom echoed outside. The door shook. Alira jumped. They're still trying to get in. Reed tossed her a small metal chip. That's the data inside you. It's out now, if I don't make it. Destroy it. Alira caught it, staring at him. You think you're going to die? He gave her a dry smile. I think I'm tired of running. Another boom. Then the door bent inward, dented. Alira stepped beside him. Then I'll fight too. He looked at her with new eyes. Not as a target. Not as a memory. As a partner. Outside, the monsters of his past waited. Inside, the truth between them burned brighter than fear. They would face it together. Asterisk. The door exploded inward like a scream. Metal flew. Dust filled the air. Lights shattered. And through the smoke, they came. Monsters in human skin, eyes glowing red. Movements sharp and wrong like puppets with bones. Reed didn't hesitate. He fired 3 rounds into the first one. It dropped. But 2 more took its place. Run! He shouted. Alira didn't wait. She clutched the data chip close to her chest. Heart pounding, legs burning as she sprinted into the next corridor. Her injured leg screamed in pain, but her fear screamed louder. Behind her gunfire. Roars. Reed's voice shouting, ordering the bunker itself to fight back. Activate all defenses. Turrets dropped from the ceiling. Lights turned red, but it wouldn't be enough. They weren't just fighting soldiers. They were fighting ghosts from Reed's past. Alira reached a sealed tunnel door, marked, Emergency Launch Chute Danger, Unstable. She didn't care. She slammed her palm on the release button. The door groaned, creaked. Opened. Reed ran. In after her, panting, bleeding from a deep cut across his shoulder. Go now. But what about you? I'll be right behind. She slid into the narrow metal tunnel. The floor sloped downward. It was a steep drop into darkness. She looked back one last time, and saw him. Reed turn and fire into the smoke one last time before jumping in after her. They fell faster, deeper, until the tunnel spat them out into open air right off a cliff. Alira screamed. Reed grabbed her mid-fall and hit a button on his wrist. A small emergency thruster activated, just enough to slow them before crashing into the thick forest canopy below. Branches broke. Leaves flew. Then thud. They hit the ground hard. Alira rolled, coughing but alive. Reed landed beside her, groaning. Still breathing? Barely, she muttered. They sat up, looking around. They were in a new part of the wild, deeper, darker, and strangely quiet. The trees here were twisted. The air felt heavier, ancient. What is this place? Alira asked. Reed didn't answer right away. His eyes scanned the shadows. Then he said, We're near the crash site. Your ship? Alira's eyes widened. You mean? My ship? He nodded. You wanted answers? They're there. All of them. They moved carefully, Alira leaning on him for support. After a few minutes, the trees opened, revealing a deep crater. At the center, half buried in rock and vines, was a shattered alien ship. Her ship. She stepped forward, heart pounding. Flashes hit her mind, screams, fire, metal ripping. A voice calling her name. Then darkness. She touched the cold hull. And the ship answered. A low hum vibrated through the air. Reed raised his weapon. It's still alive. No, Alira whispered. It's remembering. Lights on the ship blinked. A door opened with a soft hiss. Inside, a flickering blue AI interface came to life. Pilot Alira status, critical. Memory core damaged. Emergency protocol unlocked. The screen showed a video fuzzy at first, then clear. It showed Alira, standing in a room with scientists, human and alien. They were giving her something, injecting it near her spine. Reed stepped forward. That's the core. The scientist said, this data must survive. If she reaches the wild, no one will follow her. She won't remember. She just run. The video ended. Alira stepped back. Her hands were shaking. I wasn't just a refugee, I was a courier. A living memory chip. Reed looked at her. You with a mission. Then click. A sound came from the woods. Both of them turned too fast. A single enemy drone hovered above them. Then it spoke. Target confirmed. Full strike inbound in 3 minutes. It flew off. Reed looked at her. We need to destroy the ship and the chip, or this war spreads. Alira stared at him. If I do that, everything inside me goes too. He nodded slowly. I know. She looked at her ship, her past. The truth. And for the first time she didn't feel scared. She felt ready. A single beam of moonlight cut through the dark sky, striking the shattered hull of Alira's ship. In that glow, the metal looked like broken glass. The world felt still, as if the forest held its breath for what would come next. Alira stood. At the edge of the crater, the data core, her own memories clutched in her hand. Reed knelt beside the ship's open hatch, cleaning dust off the AI console. The hum of the dying vessel was like a heartbeat fading away. She raised her eyes to the stars. One star gleamed brighter than the rest, a silent promise from the night she first wished for rescue. Now that wish stood before her, raw and real. Reed looked up. "You ready?" His voice was calm, but Alira could see the exhaustion etched in his face. She nodded, breath trembling. "I came here to learn the truth. Now I must decide what to do with it." He slid to his feet and offered his hand. She took it, surprised at how steady his grip was. Together they climbed inside the ship's hatch, where flickering lights revealed the AI core and the empty memory slot. "Protocol says destroy," Reed said softly, glancing at the countdown on the console. 3 minutes until the drone strike hit their position. Alira swallowed. She placed the data core on the console. A ghost of her own voice whispered from the ship's speakers. "Pilot Alira, do you confirm mission termination?" Her heart pounded. The data core held the truth about Black Sun's crimes, violence, experiments, betrayals. If destroyed, no one else could find it. But if she kept it, she could expose the lies and stop more hunters. She closed her eyes and thought back to her first night, dangling upside down, wishing on a star. She didn't think that star would bring her here to a choice that would shape 2 worlds. Opening her eyes, she pressed the confirm button. Terminate mission. Erase data core. Reed placed a hand on her shoulder. "Are you sure?" Tears stung her eyes, but her voice was steady. "It's the only way. The world must move on without our past mistakes dragging it down." The console's screen glowed red. The core disintegrated in a flash of light and sound. The ship's hum cut out silent at last. Outside, the drone's distant engines roared closer. The forest trembled with each passing second. Reed grabbed Alira's hand. "Go, now." They ran from the ship up the crater's slope. Branches whipped at their faces. Roots tripped their feet, but they didn't look back. Above them, the drone hovered and released its payload. A bright flare fell toward the ship's remains. The explosion lit the forest, a single giant bloom of fire that left a smoking wound in the earth. Alira didn't flinch. She kept running until the glow faded behind the trees. When they reached a clearing, she fell to her knees, breathing hard. Reed knelt beside her. "It's over." She looked at him, her rescuer, her friend, maybe something more. "It is, but did I do the right thing?" He wiped soot from her cheek. "You chose peace over revenge." He smiled faintly. "That's the only right thing." She closed her eyes and let the night wind wash over her. In the silence, the forest sounds returned, an owl's call, leaves rustling, distant water. She stood slowly. Her legs still ached, but her spirit felt new. She raised her face to the same star she had wished on days ago. Now it felt like a true friend. Reed rose beside her. "What will you do next?" Alira took a deep breath. "I will remember. In my heart, I keep the truth. I will help rebuild what was broken bridges between humans and aliens." He nodded, pride shining in his eyes. "Then let's go home." They walked together under the moonlit sky, leaving behind the wreckage of the past. In the forest behind them, the world slept, and a lone star watched over 2 who dared to hope and change their fate.